Okay, so welcome back to our subject, of course. Before we proceed to the topic compound interest, which is should be our next topic, let us first have a brief discussion about cash flows because we'll be needing this concept later on sa discussion ng compound interest. So, cash flow or cash flow diagram. So, ano ba itong cash flow or cash flow diagram? So, a cash flow diagram is simply a graphical representation of cash flows drawn on a time scale. So, graphical representation lang siya ng mga pumapasok at mga lumalabas na pera with respect to time. For example, may pumasok na pera. Okay, after a year, meron kang binayaran, so may lumabas na pera. After a year ulit, may pumasok, then and so on. Okay, so it's a graphical representation of the money received or dispersed, within a given time frame. Okay, so it is often represented by arrows. Yung mga pera na dumarating, yung mga lumalabas na pera is often represented by arrows. So we have upward and downward arrows. So pag upward, ibig sabihin pumasok, inflow yan na pera. Ano ba yung mga inflows? Example ng inflows ay mga revenues. Okay, what else? Example ng received income. Income, makita natin if you have a business, online business, meron kang revenues and incomes. Meron din, pwede rin savings, no? So, what else? Savings generated by a project or a business activity. So, these are receipt. So, inflow, ibig sabihin pumasok na pera. Okay, disbursement naman, it's a downward arrow kapag naglabas tayo ng pera. Ano ba yung mga disbursements, yung mga bayarin? Like, for example, mga taxes, meron kayong business, or kung employee ka, meron kang income tax. What else? Another example is mga expenses natin, daily expenses, and other disbursements. Okay, so receipt kapag pumasok, upward na arrow. Kapag naglabas tayo ng pera, disbursement. Okay, so we will be looking at cash flow diagrams in terms of two perspectives. Number one would be the lender. When you are the lender, pag nagpahiram ka ng pera or nagpautang ka ng pera, example, nagpautang ako, ibig sabihin may lumabas na pera from me. Ito, for example, itong cash flow diagram natin. So, it's a 5-year cash flow diagram. So, nagpautang ako ng pera from the lender's perspective. Ako yon. So, ibig sabihin may nawalang pera sa akin. Nag-disburse ako ng pera. So, let's say for example, 100 pesos. Then, after 5 years, since nagpahiram ako, na-accumulate yung interest, in 5 years, may marireceive ako sa nagpautangan ko, may marireceive ako na 150 pesos. So, na-receive ko yun. Ibig sabihin, na-receive ko, it's an inflow sa akin, no? Okay. So, 150. So, yan. From the lender's perspective. Now, sa borrower's perspective naman, siyempre, nanghiram siya ng pera, ibig sabihin, inflow yon sa kanya, pumasok yon sa kanyang account. So 100 pesos. Since meron siyang contract, usapan nila ng lender na after 5 years magbabayad ka ng interest na 50 pesos. So after 5 years, magbabayad siya ng 50 pesos. So lalabas yun sa kanyang account. So it's a disbursement on his end. So arrow down siya. So nagbayad siya, yun. Yung 50 dito, yung disbursement niya na-receive ni lender. Ayan. So there are two perspectives here. Okay? So that's yan yung cash flow natin. Okay? Ibig sabihin ng cash flow. And we will be dealing, of course, it's a very simple cash flow. We will be dealing with more complex, complicated cash flows later on in our future discussions. No? So, ito ay for discussion lang, for presentation purposes, para maintindihan natin ang ibig sabihin ng cash flow. So, it's just a diagram of inflows and outflows of money. Depende kung from the lender's perspective or from the borrower's perspective. Yeah. Okay? So that is the definition of cash flow diagram. So next topic is, so punta na tayo sa compound interest. Okay. Ano ba tong compound interest? An illustration, cash flow illustration ay nasa module ninyo. Hindi ko na i-drawing. Just look at your modules na lang. I will have a different explanation na lang dito kasi medyo mahaba yung explanation sa module. Meron pang mga derivations doon. I will just try to simplify it sa video na ito. Okay, ano ba tong compound interest? So we're done with simple interest. Now meron tayong compound interest. So in calculations of compound interest, the interest for an interest period is calculated. Okay? The interest for an interest period is calculated on the principal plus total amount of interest accumulated in previous periods. Hirap intindihin, ano? So, compound interest ay interest on top of interest. Let's try to simplify this using the explanation, using an example siguro. Let's say for example, we have a principal, mag-invest tayo. Principal natin is 1,000 pesos. Then we have for a period of, let's say, 4 years. And the interest rate per year is, let's say, para mas simple yung calculations natin, 10 years, ay 10% na lang. Ayan. So, ano ba tong concept ng compound interest? Okay, yung pag-compute ng interest, okay, or ng future worth, or let's say interest na lang, is hindi na siya yung original na principal palagi. Kasi sa simple interest, we compute for the interest always based on the principal, kahit ilang taon pa yung period natin, sa compound interest hindi. So kino-compute natin yung succeeding interest based on the computed principal from the previous na interest period. Okay, let's try to illustrate that using this example. So we have 4 years. So let's compute natin yung future worth in 4 years. Ano ba itong future? Using simple interest. So for example, year 1. So year 0, nag-invest tayo ng 1,000 pesos. So yung interest, yung future worth niya after 1 year is equal to, using simple interest, we have P times 1 plus I, So F1 is equal to, principal natin is 1,000 times 1 plus N. So in this case, since we are just solving for the future worth on the first year, so ang N natin is 1. 1 year pa lang. So 1 year, hindi siya 4 years. So interest natin per year is 10%. So F1 is equal to, compute natin yung F1. That is 10% ng 1,000 is 100. So basically F1 is 1,100 pesos. Yan yung future worth niya in 1 year. Ituloy ulit natin F2. So sa pag-compute ng F2, we will no longer use yung original na principal natin na 1,000, but we're going to use yung value ng F1. So ito na yung magiging principal natin. So we have F1 times 1 plus NI. So F2 is equal to, we have 1,100 times 1 plus, since F2 yan, from year 1 to year 2, 1 year lang yan, so 1 pa rin yan, interest at 10%. So F2 is equal to 1,210. 1,210 pesos. Now, ganoon din sa computation sa F3. So, F3, ang magiging principal ulit natin ay yung F2. So, we have 1,210 1 plus 1 times, so from F2 to F3, so 1 year yan. So, kaya 1 yung N natin dyan. Yan. So, F3 is equal to 1,331. Okay. And then finally for F4. So ang gagamitin nating principal ay yung F3. So sunod-sunod diyan. So hindi katulad sa simple interest na ang basis palagi natin is the original principal na ito. Sa compound interest, yung magkaiba, ang ginagamit natin ay yung previous, the principal is always the previous interest period. Okay, so F4 now is equal to, gamitin natin yung F3, that is 1,331 times 1 plus, still from year 3 to 4, 1 year pa rin, 0.1. So F4 equal to 1,464.1. So this is F4 now using simple interest. Now, paulit ko, sunod-sunod yan. Okay? So, the derivation of the formula, yung formula natin for compound interest ay nasa module natin. Basically, ganito rin yung procedure niya. Nilagyan ko lang ng values para mas maintindihan natin. So puro variables naman doon sa may sa may module natin. But ganito rin yung pattern ng kanyang derivation. So to compute for compound interest, formula natin to compute for the future worth is equal to ito. So F, the future worth, is equal to, so if we compute now ito, using the same terms here, ay 1,000, 1 plus I, which is 10% raised to N, which is 4 years. So F is equal to 1,000, it should be the same, 1,464.1 pesos. Okay, so it's a future worth. So we're going to use this formula. So yung formula natin for future worth is equal to so I raised to N, or it's also equal to now we are going to use this formula kapag ito, kasi this is on the basis, ang basis nila is kapag yearly yung compounding ng interest. Now, kapag hindi siya yearly, let's say for example, monthly, semi-annually, quarterly, or hindi siya yearly, so we're going to use this formula to, to solve for the future world. No. Bali, R here is the nominal annual interest rate. We will discuss more of this later on. Pag-discuss natin yung effective rate at nominal rate of interest. M is number of compounding per year. So, M here is the number of compounding per year. For example, quarterly, ibig sabihin, M is equal to 4. Pag monthly, M is equal to 12. Semi-annually, M is equal to 2. From the word semi means 2. M is equal to 2. No, kapag hindi siya yearly yung compounding, so we're going to use this formula. Okay? T here is number of years. Yan. Number of years. Okay? And then, if you want to solve for the present worth, so P is equal to F times 1 plus I raised to negative N. So, for example, given yung future worth at saka yung interest, okay, ano kaya ang magiging present worth nito? So, if I'm going to expect this kind of money in the future with this kind of interest, magkano kayang i-invest ko ngayon? Ngayon, no? Para in the future, ganito yung ma-receive ko na amount of money. So, sometimes, that's how we look at things, you know? So that's why sometimes we compete for the present worth of money. So ito yung mga formula na kailangan natin i-memorize or intindihin. Now, a different explanation would be is in your modules. Ano? So I don't know which is simpler for you to understand, kung itong explanation sa video or yung nasa module. Bahala na kayo na mag-judge later on. Okay? So, yan, yung compound interest. So, next topic natin is nominal rate and effective rate of interest. So, that would be on a separate video na lang. So, see you sa next video.